With me is my client, Mr. Jack Saran, who is a very well-regarded property developer in Surrey, based in Surrey, who has been dealing with large-scale projects in that municipality for decades. Our purpose is to provide an update further to a story that was published in the Vancouver Sun this morning with respect to allegations that Mr. Saran made years ago regarding corruption at the City Hall of Surrey. Approximately 8 years ago, Mr. Saran was approached by a planner at the City of Surrey and asked to basically provide that planner with a bribe so that his permits could be expedited. Mr. Saran obviously refused that. It would have saved him a lot of money. Not that that's a justification, but certainly that he was not interested in that. He went directly to authorities and reported that. He was also aware at the time of a broader picture with bribery, and he also alerted the authorities to that. At the end of the day, as a result of the investigation, the only action that was taken criminally was the individual who asked for the bribe, Mr. Akolo, was charged with breach of trust only with respect to the one act of bribery, and it was only with respect to himself and the bribery to offer to Jack. Now, as a result of that charge, he eventually entered into an agreement with the Crown Counsel. Through his defense counsel, he was given house arrest, and that was the end of it, and that was in 2014. Mr. Saran's position at the time and up until the present day has always been there was much more to this story, and he felt it wasn't being dealt with in the way that he thought the public should be served and how it should be dealt with. He has spent 8 years of his life trying to get to the bottom of this, to the point where a year and a half a bit ago, my office was retained to assist him to see if he could get any further information. As a result of that, what our investigation showed, based on our FOI requests and our discussions with counsel for the City of Surrey, was that much of what he suspected was shown to be true. There was a civil lawsuit initiated by the City of Surrey against Mr. Akolo and other people, which validated much of what Mr. Saran has always believed. And Mr. Saran now comes to this situation where he is gone as far as he can. He's here saying, what more can I do as a citizen? He spent his time, his money on pursuing this. It's not really his job, quite frankly. I think everybody would expect a citizen to help deal with crime insofar as reporting things, but Jack has gone above and beyond by multitudes. Now, that's the specific issue, and Jack will give a statement shortly to address that. There's a larger question, I suppose, which is the prosecution generally of white-collar crime in Canada versus other types of crime. And as I've mentioned before, one can commit fraud to the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, and perhaps get house arrest, or one can walk into a bank as a drug addict, give a note to the teller and say, give me what money you have, which is probably going to be about $1,000 at most, and walk out, and if caught, get a year in jail, real jail. And that's an issue that I think we as a country should start thinking about. I think that it doesn't do much for confidence in civil society to see that people, when they're just dealing with money, and it's not violence, it's actually just people manipulating things or cheating, how much that can be let go, and that's the problem.